Here this evening, Jenn Crawford.
I'm noticing that we didn't do the pledge of allegiance.
Whoa! Let's do it now.
That always grounds me. I like doing the pledge of
Now you can start.
Pledge. Go ahead.
To the flag
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Postmaster. This is my third speech tonight, in which I'm preparing in part for a meeting tomorrow. The Director of Extension, who has been with this position for about a year, is making a tour to Chelan County first of all of the 39 counties, I believe that there are, in the state of Washington. He's visiting our office tomorrow. And he'll be doing some tours, but this, I'll have about 5 or so minutes to give an overview of my program to him, and they are family and parent education programs. What I hope, after listening, spending this time together, that each of you can name at least one partner with whom I work from the 3, and also know the 3 program areas where I focus my work. Many of you have already heard an introduction from permaculture in previous speeches, in which I alluded to some unusual programming. And I'll hopefully give you more specific details about how each of those programs work. So I'm a parent and family educator for Chelan Douglas County and work statewide. The 3 programs in which I work are called Children Cope with Divorce, another program called Resilient Families Inside and Out, and the third is Strengthening Families program. The Children Cope with Divorce program has been in existence for about 13, 14 years now. And 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago, I took on its management. It's a required class for anybody with children under age 18 who live in the area. It's actually mandated by the Superior Court in both Chelan and Douglas County, and it's one of many programs across the country. The purpose of the class is to minimize negative impacts of divorce. on children, and to particularly give parents some skills related to co-parenting, which is a new skill for many as they are transitioning from a romantic partnership with the other partner to more of a business relationship in which there's a joint venture, meaning the goal for happy, thriving kids into adulthood with minimal problems. That's the one program. The main partners there are, of course, the court system, parents, and instructors with whom I'm responsible for training and have been involved in evaluation. That's Children Cope with Divorce. The second program I mentioned is called Resilient Families Inside and Out. That name I just recently adopted, and I believe that this program is the most unusual of all 3 because of the methods that I've used. And I'm going to go ahead and use that analogy again. It was confusing to some from the last speech I gave about the edging principle, that term from permaculture. Some of you might remember that phrase. But the idea is to maximize the edge of worlds in order to promote learning and exchange and growth. This particular program has a lot of edges in it compared to conventional parent education. The target audiences are not conventional you and me type parents, or maybe they are, because we sometimes think that we're all normal, but who is really normal? The primary audiences there are incarcerated fathers and individuals who are in treatment for drug and alcohol. And the local jail, as well as the Center for Alcohol and Drug Treatment, are the primary locations where that program is held. And we combine another ecosystem or world is actually yoga instruction. Combining that with parent education, typical parent education. And the idea behind that is that yoga is a lot more than just exercise. It's actually a way to develop self-awareness and to begin to engage more of oneself, to use some self-reflection, and it can be an empowering process in which real change can begin to happen in unconventional ways. We've seen some very positive results from this program in a number of different areas in the field of prevention science. And primarily the main outcome has been in developing what's called parental resilience, which is one of 5 major protective factors in prevention science. The Resilient Families Inside and Out program is the most innovative. And this last one I'm going to talk about, Strengthening Families program, has also been around a long time. It's one of the most widely implemented programs, and it's very high up in terms of the research behind it for showing that it works in effectively preventing drug and alcohol use. It's so widely accepted, it's on the best practices lists in many different disciplines. It's adopted across the world. And in the past few years, we've been delivering this program to mostly to Spanish-speaking audiences, and we've had some funding to look at ways to adapt it, if needed, for making it more palatable to different populations. What we're finding is people love the program, and there's not that much to change. It's depended more on who delivers it and the connections that the facilitators have in receiving the information. It's an experiential program, and it lasts 7 weeks. And it involves the whole family. The target audience is children ages 10 to 14 as they prepare for teenage years, and it starts with a family meal. There's been considerable outcomes in every one of the areas. I hope that each of you can name partners in delivering those 2 programs that I mentioned, and I hope that you're interested in hearing more as a local person to consider getting involved in some of them or advocating for them, and I'd be happy to tell you more.